you cut me too deep. I think I'm dying here, man.
Welcome to the 3B Video Deep Cut Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun.
Aw, yeah. It's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and...
Evil Dead Ings and Raj, Billy and his penis don't deserve you.
I knew he was too perfect. Had to be something.
Good in bed. Wait, what?
Billy, what are you doing here? Oh, lordy. You knew that we were going to get to this franchise eventually. I'm kind of surprised it's taken us... Have we been doing this, 3 years?
Shit, I don't know.
We've been doing this a hot minute. The Deep Cut Podcast is... obviously the name isn't derived from this movie, but the intro has many a segment.
I think it'd been funny if we never covered it ever. It's in your guys' intro, like, what is Scream? Like, what's Scream?
Never even heard of it. I'm really looking forward to this podcast. The rest, not so much, but it is what it is, and we'll power our way through it. I mean, it won't be as rough as the Rob Zombie 3.
This is the wife's franchise. She was I told her we was going to rewatch the first movie to get ready for this, and she's like, you want to do the whole series tonight? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do the whole series tonight. Why not? Because I need to keep each one of these movies separate in my mind, and if I do 6 movies tonight...
12 hours, that ain't tonight. That's a day.
Well, yeah, come on. She knows about the Halloween marathon we did, so it's not out of the realm, but she was very gung-ho about wanting to do everything in one night. Because this is her franchise.
Fuck me. Kill me.
Which is funny, because this is like the kids' franchise. The generation, beyond us. This is their series. But what's funny, though, is I did blow the fuck out of her mind rewatching it this past week, twice over.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I completely kind of, I think I took the steam out of the movie a little bit for her in one aspect, because she's like, I started seeing things click in her head, and she's like, Jesus, you're right.
Well, I'm interested. Color me intrigued.
Well, the first little thing that fucked her up is like, man, it's hard to believe that that camera guy was in Something About Mary, and she goes, huh? I was like, that was Cameron Diaz's brother, and she looked and she totally had that, what the? I'm like, yeah, that's him, isn't it? I'm like, kind of funny how a mustache and goatee will fuck you up like that. Like, it really gives credence to the Superman's eyeglasses theory.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's amazing. He's in the TV series Deadwood. His name is escaping me, but he is an incredible actor, and he has a kind of a minuscule part in this movie, but he has a heart of gold in this movie. So, I mean, he's a worthwhile character.
They really overkill, like, he is a fat guy. Like, he's not...
That's fat for 96, dog. You know,
like, that dude looks thin by 2024 standards, but they really push it gung-ho. There's literally a scene towards the end where I'm counting how many bags of chips he's gone through in one night. In the final line of the movie, 3 bags. 3 different bags of chips. A Ruffles reduced fat, Cheetos crunchy, and Fritos. Or not Fritos, but Tostitos. Those plain ass Tostitos. And he's passing out in the car from eating 3
carb loading.
3 bags of chips. Cheetos, Tostitos, and Ruffles.
Potatoes and salt put you to sleep.
Because, fat guys love 3 different types. We do not vary that much in potato chips in a given night.
I don't know. But, in 96, when he was portly, this was still the era of the video store. So even fat people, like, if they wanted to watch a movie, they had to walk their fat ass into a store. So they were getting more exercise than 2024 people who
now we're turning into
mindlessly
Wall-E.
Scroll. Oh, God. Yeah, it's terrible. So, like, he's not even fat, really. I mean, he's a chunky dude.
I'm looking, I was like, I'm not too far from where he is.
Well, he gained, I think he said in the making of, he gained an extra 20 or 25 pounds because he knew that he was supposed to be portly.
Jeez.
So
I could do that without blinking an eye.
He pulled a Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I'd laugh if you're like, put on an extra 20 pounds, like, see you Friday.
Yeah.
It's Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just kind of glossed right over it, but do you want to give the folks out there in internet land a brief plot synopsis?
It's 1996, so it's time for us to watch A Nightmare on Woodsboro Street. I mean Scream. This is Scream. Wes Craven has penetrated the genre in the 70s with Last House on the Left. And then he took over the 1980s with A Nightmare on Elm Street. And then, where I blew the wife's mind, he kind of recycles a shitload of things from Nightmare on Elm Street and puts it into the 90s here with Scream, and flipping the entire genre on its head, effectively rejuvenating it and killing it at the exact same time.
What is the old adage? Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
I thought you were going like Vince McMahon, like, I'm gonna kill my creation. I'm going to inject the horror genre with a lethal dose of poison.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. It's not Wes Craven's fault, because he almost passed on the project, and then, he kind of got like this fire reignited by some kids at a convention being like, when are you gonna do another like super badass movie? So he decided to take up Scream because he hadn't done anything since New Nightmare a few years earlier, and it's his direction, right? Which you could put any Tom, Dick, or Harry in that role, and you're probably going to get pretty much the same movie based on the screenplay. The screenplay is what changed horror, and that's Kevin Williamson. Kevin Williamson's voice definitely imprinted the horror genre, and that's where like referencing movies became like super duper popular, like that whole couple of killers, like it's the 80s formula, but it's done like that. It's Dawson's Creeked up, you know what I mean? Was it snappy? Not snappy dialogue, but clever, witty dialogue. That's it. But man, the parallels are and almost the copying that he does from Elm Street, it's staggering when you look at it, because we have a blonde in the opening. You think is our heroine, not our heroine, first to die. Same as in Elm Street. Tatum wears Johnny Depp's jersey, same number, same midriff style. The house has the same goddamn color scheme of white with green trim and roof. A broken home where only one parent is at the house. You have a brunette heroine that decides that comes out from, out of nowhere a little bit, like not your initial person you're thinking is going to be the star of the movie becomes a star. You have a lot of similarities between Billy and Johnny Depp as far as like how they kind of look and feel. Shit, you even have Johnny Depp coming and Billy here coming through the goddamn window of his girlfriend's bedroom. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I just started piling all these things up, and I was like, holy shit, he just recycled Nightmare on Elm Street and just put it into high schoolers.
Well, he didn't. Kevin Williamson did. But I mean,
some of the sins coming back to haunt the new kids from previous year. Both the movies in their different ways have a mom getting killed at the beginning and into the movie. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. And Kevin Williamson, if you watch interviews with him, he said like most of his inspiration was Halloween. And you're onto something though about like all the Elm Street parallels, because there's a lot of Halloween parallels too. I mean,
but even the cop, our sheriff, is the fucking underling for John Saxon in Nightmare on Elm Street. He's the one Nancy calls an asshole.
Yep, that's true. Better go get the lieutenant.
After 3 windows are broken, you think?
Yeah, and the house is smoking. Like
you've heard like a massive amount of gunpowder blow up in the house. Like, maybe I should go get Donnie.
Yeah, maybe they got the TV up real loud. You never know.
Someone left a potato or something in the microwave.
It was Jiffy Pop popcorn.
Yeah. Jiffy Pop. Which the wife asked when we were watching if I ever did that. And yep, I did it once. Have you been a Jiffy Popper?
I don't think I ever really have.
I think you can get them at the dollar store now.
Yeah, I mean, you can get them at Walmart. You can get them anywhere. But I don't think I ever really have.
Are you even a popcorn during your movie kind of guy? Because we've
No.
never really been a popcorn eater while we watch cinema here. So like, are you guys like that at all? Because I don't think you are. But
We have a popcorn maker.
Yeah.
My wife likes popcorn. My kids like popcorn.
I like popcorn, but I've never been like, get the popcorn ready. We're watching a movie.
I mean, I will on like very special occasions have popcorn. Like if I got to really be in the mood for it. But to me, popcorn has never been. It's not like synonymous with movies for me.
Does that sound like well, we can't go into. We have our soda and popcorn tradition.
Yeah, that's really not. I mean, I'm a soda guy. I got to have something to drink while I'm watching a movie. But
I don't even want that. I'm like, I don't want to have to piss during the movies. I'm like, don't give me shit. I'm gonna go in with nothing. Although I got kids that like bringing in candy, so we've done the official thing that like I got from mom is we go by the gas station and shit and just or dollar store again and load up on the gummies and candies. Just put them in your pockets so let's carry them in. What's your spaghetti policy here at this theater?
You're watching Shakespeare in Love.
That movie alone, like it is very difficult in my mind's eye to distinguish between Scream and Scary Movie, which I guess Scary Movie was the original title for this. But my God, that's when you know you got a goddamn good parody is when I really have a hard time separating the real movie from the parody of it.
Yeah, and before the scary movies went like off the rails.
Oh, you mean after
the first one? The first one is absolute perfection.
You mean
It's
halfway
perfection.
through 2?
Yeah, pretty much. 1 and 2 are okay.
Kind of like this franchise.
But yeah, we can't like. Let's talk about the opening to this movie because I know we talked about it on our YouTube channel because we've covered this film on our YouTube channel. This is bar none, probably one of the best opening 15 minutes to a movie. This really, this could be its own movie. This is like how When a Stranger Calls. The opening to When a Stranger Calls is absolutely perfect. It nails the tone, it nails everything, and then the rest of the movie falls apart. Scream doesn't fall apart, but the opening to Scream is so goddamn good that it like you almost forget that it's an opening.
Yeah, pretty much. When did this movie hit your radar? Do you remember when you saw this or how you saw this initially? This was a rental for me. I had no idea. And my God, did it change my entire winter season in 1997.
Yeah, I went to see this in theaters. My cousin Travis, who he wasn't my cousin at the time, like he was just dating my cousin, and they were watching me for like a couple of weeks because my mom was in the academy, doing prison guard training, and I had my buddy Matt Fendrell over, and he's like, "You guys want to go see a movie? I'll take you to a movie." And it was like around Christmas time, and it was fucking cold and miserable, and like I don't know what's playing. And he's like, "There's this movie called Scream." We're like, "Yeah, fuck it, whatever." Because like when you're 12, 13, all the way up until I was like 22, I just went to the movies all the time. I didn't care what was playing. Like, let me just go, oh, that one looks better than that one or whatever. Like, just buy a ticket and go. And we saw Scream, and we were like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, we were just blown away by it.
The same. We rented it. Got home. I watched it in my room. Which, man, that's something I can also I can really recapture everything in my mind's eye of how everything looked in my room. Everything about watching it for the first time, and then taking it downstairs and giving my folks the first review. I'll be like, you're going to like this one.
Yeah, I could not stop talking about it that, like, after Christmas break, telling everybody at school about it. I used to draw the mask all the time. And then,
do you remember seeing that in the movie? What the original name is for the costume when he pulled?
It's like Father Death or something.
Yeah, I was like, so it's not Ghostface. Ghostface is something that is off-put said by Tatum. Mr. Ghostface.
My my favorite version of the mask is only used in that first 15 minutes of the movie. The mask changes after that first 15 minutes of the movie.
Really?
Yeah. So if you go back and really pay attention to it, the nose is a triangle instead of those two little like skull dips, which it becomes throughout the rest of the movie. The eyes have like these really, really pronounced, like cavities around them, because the mask used in the opener was just some mask that Wes Craven and his art department, they found in a house when they were doing location scouting. They still did not have a mask, and they went into this bedroom to take pictures, and that mask was on the bedpost. So they asked the owner, like, what is this mask? This is amazing. And she's like, oh, it was my son's. It was a Halloween. He wore it for Halloween a few years back, and I just, this used to be his room, so I just hung it up on the banister. So they took it and they found like a marking that it was like a Fun World was a company that put it out. So they got a hold of Fun World and they're like, can we use this mask? And they're like, yeah, whatever. So Wes and whoever else took it to the Weinsteins, and the Weinsteins are like, that mask is fucking stupid. It's not going to work. And Wes is like, give me a week. Let me shoot this opener.
You tell me the Weinsteins had a bad idea about something?
Yeah, right. Terrible, disgusting human beings, but
hard to believe.
Wes is like, it was either like a week or like over the weekend. He's like, just let me have this time. Let me shoot this opener. If you still think it sucks, if you hate the mask when I'm done shooting this, we'll go back and we'll reshoot and change the mask to whatever you want. And they filmed the opener, put a temp score over it, and showed it to the Weinsteins on like a Monday or whatever, and they were like, we were wrong. This mask is fucking perfect. But I guess somewhere in that, when Fun World finally, like whoever the sculptor was, decided, hey, like I'm flattered that you want to use my mask, but like,
when it starts making money, that's when he all of a sudden has more of a dog in the fight.
Yeah, once they figure out that it's like a big movie and it's Wes Craven.
Weird how money has an influence like that,
So then K&B or whoever, I believe K&B did the effects. So then everybody kind of got together. They made a mold of that original mask, and then they tweaked it just enough. They gave the nose that like double curve. They made the eyes less like, because in that original mask, man, they stick out super far. And I love the look of that original mask. And yeah, you'll start to notice. It's almost like an H2O effect where you're like, that's the good mask, that's the fucking reprint.
A million times I've seen this first movie. I've never noticed the difference. Never paid that much attention. Although I did pay a lot of attention and laugh my ass off every time that they have a ghost face in like reflection shots. Like, who the fuck is putting it on inside the grocery store?
Right, running around in the grocery store. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode, but...
Yeah, it's like, let me put this shit on and,
run through the woods.
Yeah, why are you doing this shit? Who's doing it? Billy, is that you?
It's got to be Stu, because he's a fucking idiot. But if you go back, and the one specific shot you'll notice is the slow-mo shot when he's chasing Drew Barrymore. Look at the mask in that shot specifically. You'll be like, that is different. Good call. Like, because the nose is a triangle. It's super like bladed triangle. But yeah, that's the old slasher movie rub, right? Like, you got to have the killer like slinking around, doing things,
goofy,
which is weird
shit.
because if he's it's a whodunit. Like, it's the old school formula for the 90s. He could just walk around as Billy or as Stu and go undetected. Like, the only thing that those shots are for is for the audience.
Yeah.
Oh, the killer. Ooh, it's kind of like those bullshit jump scares where like the character in the movie doesn't get scared, but like the audience would, because there's a ghost behind him for no fucking reason.
Turn around, Jamie. Turn around. That scene entirely, yeah. So who is doing the opening killing for the boyfriend?
That's Billy.
You think
100%.
Billy's doing that? You think Billy's doing this?
So,
and jump in and slit and pulls guts out real quick. Away.
So I watched a video the other
Funny
day,
as
and
shit
it was
how
like,
fast he has to move to do that.
There was a video that says Stu kills them in the opening. And I disagree. I've always disagreed. Because they have that wonderful little moment at the fountain, like, I didn't kill anybody. And then Billy gives him that, like, nasty look, like, nobody said you did. Because he's like, I had to fucking do this. You know? And I don't believe that both of them were involved in that first kill. I believe it was just Billy. And he went to Sydney's to kind of establish an alibi. Like, yeah, I was out, you know, cruising around and went and saw my girlfriend. Like, that's my alibi. But I can't remember if I brought this up to you before, real quick. When they're at the fountain, and we have that first establishing wide shot of them sitting at the fountain, have you ever noticed that Billy and Stu are both wearing black Doc Marten work boots?
No, I did not. But man, do they really make a point of emphasizing those on the sheriff? Like, are you trying to tell me that they think the sheriff could be the one doing this killing too when he steps on his
fat
cigarette?
Sheriff, yeah.
Yeah, no. He's hanging out in the girls' bathroom? I don't think so. But no, I was way too distracted by Randy's fucking shoes.
I had shoes like that in high school.
You had shoes that matched your outfits?
I had a couple of really bright colored shoes.
Those look like fucking bowling shoes.
They're like dress shoes. Like
yeah, they look like
dancing shoes.
furry dress shoes.
Oh, dude, I had a silver tab clothes for a while, so I had like white jeans.
I cannot picture
that.
Yeah,
I tried fucking wicked hard, bro. I went through the scrub era with the dreadlocks and the giant jeans, and then like tried to clean up a little bit. Well, I tried to clean up just a little bit, and then kind of realized that's not who I am, so I stopped doing that.
He has shoes that match his outfit later in the movie when he gets shot at the end, and like his shoes match his getup again. Randy is too fashionable. What do these people do for money in this town? This is a rich, super white town.
Mm-hmm. Sydney's house is out there in the middle of nowhere, like overlooking fucking plateaus,
fucking valleys and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a goddamn commercial.
Drive to the neighbor's house. That's definitely when you're like, yeah, you've got some land, or you're in the country, you got land, and you're like, drive to the neighbor's house. You can't walk to it.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I had that was a big question is, these are high school kids, so they're bumbling and stupid. They take a lot of injuries. Yeah. How come neither one of them have any damage to their face when Tatum throws a beer bottle in their face?
Yeah.
How come Billy's not answering the door later like, I can't breathe through my nose because I had a beer bottle smash into it. Plus
full beer bottle.
Plus my dick is bleeding. I'm gonna fuck. He's fucking in less than 30 minutes after he gets hit in the dick and a bottle blows up on his balls.
Maybe he's wearing a nut cup because he's an athlete. I don't know.
How come,
but I mean,
Billy, how come you smell like beer? You smell and your pants are drenched in beer. That's not a raincoat he's wearing. It's just a thin piece of black cloth over him. How come he's not drenched in beer?
Yeah, it is a dollar store costume, so it's not like it has any protective ability.
No, it's not a raincoat, but I was like, what the fuck is this shit? How come his face isn't fucking annihilated from a beer bottle? Yeah, that's like straight up getting hit in the face by Mike Tyson. Like, there should be fucking broken glass chunks just sticking out of his face.
Cheekbone. Yeah. Your cheekbone is definitely shattered, for sure.
Broken nose, but unscathed. Both these guys are unscathed. Neither one of them has any injuries from that.
He texts Stu from the garage like, fuck this, I gotta go to the doctor. My face is mangled.
Yeah, Stu, I'm feeling
Hit me
really
with a shovel.
woozy
Now
here.
I talk like that.
That's exactly what's going on. They take some serious fucking injuries and keep on going. I mean, Nev Campbell does too, taking that fucking bump off onto the boat.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Like, I'm done. Fucking done. I want to sound like Uncle Leroy from Next Friday after getting hit off that boat. I'm like, disc slipped again.
This has been the thing that's always bothered me about the layout of the first movie, even as much as I love the first movie. And I think we talked about this in the live stream. If not, we've talked about this just hanging out. But when Sydney is attacked at the school, what's the purpose? Is the purpose...
Shit, when she's attacked at home, what's the purpose there?
That's exactly what I was gonna, there's two things where it's like, what is the purpose is to get her to talk more about it, to help like spread the panic, spread the fear, or what? Because let's say, because it's Stu.
Yeah, Bumble Butt Stu.
Every time that the killer is like super bumbly, it's Stu. And
yeah,
let's say Stu, when he slams her head into the floor.
Okay, you're saying the same thing I was saying when I was rewatching it, the exact same thing. Cause I was like, so does she not know the kayfabe if she has to move so I don't stab her? What if she doesn't move in time? Like, do I have to, fake like a muscle pull or some shit to not stab her?
Like, what? So the end game is a little muddy on that attack. I mean, I suppose the end game is
because they're like
chase her around, scare her,
like and
then Billy comes in and establishes his alibi.
Yeah, because we got to wait till the end for it to be the 1 year anniversary. Come, like, is this supposed to be like, what if he fucks up and kills her now? Does that fuck up their entire plan? Are they making this shit up as it goes? High schoolers are not this organized.
Yeah, they would have had to have. So this is 96, right? I guess Columbine wouldn't happen for a few years.
Yeah, we're 3 years away.
And
they were not organized either. They were.
I mean, they were fairly organized.
Fairly, but they're still like, fairly organized for like part of a day.
17-year-olds.
Yeah, they were still at one point just shooting up lockers for the fun of it. Like, they're still fucking stupid ass kids.
Yeah,
they're really stupid ass kids. But they were just still in that moment stupid ass kids. They weren't how this is.
Cloning a cell phone.
Yeah, 365 days of strategic planning.
Kidnapping the father. There's a lot that goes into this, but they leave a lot to chance.
Too much to chance.
Yeah, old man logic. You and I are like, but what about
Geez, I hope they don't discover this car early.
Well, and I mean, their plans are almost thwarted so many times. So for one, right off the bat in the opener, they're there to kill Casey and Steve. Casey's fucking parents show up.
Minutes.
And they still haven't finished the job.
Yeah, minutes after they get like near done.
Yeah, they are minutes away from being caught. Because let's say the parents pull in and discover Casey as, when she's at the door.
Or just
that whole sequence.
Just say Casey's taking a shit when she decides before she makes the popcorn. The entire thing is thrown off balance there. Because she doesn't answer the phone. 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes, taking a good long healthy shit. Like, it fucks the entire thing up. Like, literally a bowel movement could have screwed up their entire setup here.
Yeah, and that's because if the parents were there and discover Casey, and then they see some teenager or whatever running off into the cornfield wearing a fucking robe, they're gonna call the cops. Let's say you're gonna get caught.
These are white folks out in the country. They've got guns in the house somewhere.
Plus, it's the 90s. They leave the Ghostface costume on the porch. It's a porous plastic. You have fingerprints. You have sweat. And that's. But I know that stuff is not. It's not CSI, right? So that stuff takes like months. 96.
Remember, this is where DNA is like, holy DNA. Like, we are just coming out of the OJ thing, where OJ's DNA and stuff was still like, well, that's some hokey pokey, superstitious sciencey shit. Like, that's not real, is it?
That's made up. You trying to tell me nobody else has the fingerprints I have the fingerprints of?
And a computer can tell me who is who?
How do we know that hasn't been image manipulated? Whatever, that whole argument. But, there's so much left to chance for these two kids to pull this off. And then, the ending is the most brazen of all. Let's invite every teenager ever, and you're just banking on the fact
they're gonna go home.
They're gonna leave, right? Yeah,
and the ones that aren't are gonna be too intrigued by the principal thing to leave.
Yeah, that man. Because what happens if they don't leave? Then you have more people to kill.
Killing Henry Winkler seemed a bit weird too.
Yeah, that is a little. It's out there. It doesn't serve a purpose. It's just a body count stacker.
Yeah, and a chance to see Wes Craven as Fred Krueger.
Yeah. Which
I was like, This doesn't seem like it's here for a reason.
Super hokey.
Seems like it sits here because we haven't had anybody die in a few minutes. We got to kill somebody. Henry Winkler, you're up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice guy, though. Got to meet him last year. Wonderful, wonderful man, Henry Winkler.
Did you drink water with him or Gatorade with him?
No, we did sit on a football together, though.
Nice. I'm trying to think of any other kills that are out of pocket that don't belong, and none of them are.
Well, I mean, Kenny's is like, well,
It's only because he's in between Sid and Ghostface.
that's a hell of a
right?
camera too that she plants in the house.
That is a bad motherfucker.
I was like, that is really good audio for a mini cam. Mm-hmm. And battery life.
Yeah, because they didn't plug that in. That'd be hilarious if she like, hold up, what movies you got down here? Like running an extension cord.
Yeah.
Plugging in a fucking, like it's humming. 'Cause the focus ring.
What is that noise? Randy, what is that? Like, miss the VCR. He's over there beating the shit out of the VCR like, damn thing, quit making the noise.
Because it's got latency, right? Because it's streaming.
Yeah, he's live. They're live streaming.
We're live, Hal. Because it's not like he ran a fucking coax cable they ran it through the window out to the van.
No.
Like, which explains the latency, so I can get behind that, but I'd wager to bet that in 1996 it'd be like a 4-minute delay. If not longer,
Shit, I got a 30-second delay on videos we do on YouTube here now.
Yep, yeah, and we're hardwired in with the best internet money can buy.
And 30 years beyond, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
But as much as like I'm poking holes in all this craziness, I really do put this movie on a pedestal.
Good score too. Really good score. I love it.
Oh God.
Soundtrack and score is phenomenal here.
Mm-hmm. I just really like everything about this movie. I enjoy all the characters. I like the setting. It feels fast. It never drags to me ever. It's almost a 2-hour movie, and it feels good.
Feels like a 90. Feels like a quick 90.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's real, I don't want to say snappy, right? Like, it's real
but it is.
pop culture-y,
This is
I
super
guess.
snappy and pop culture-y. 100% for 96. Yeah. You have a Richard Gere reference in here.
Mm-hmm. You're starting to sound like some Wes Carpenter flick or something.
Clever. I like that shit. And then he's tearing on his own movies. Like, first Nightmare was good. The rest of them sucked.
Mm-hmm. Genius.
Which is bullshit. Nobody dislikes Dream Warriors. That's universal.
Mm-hmm. The entire planet and beyond loves Dream Warriors.
Everyone does. Nobody hates Dream Warriors. The other ones, I'll go to bat for every day of the week. But I know it's not in the general populace.
Right.
But 3?
And that's how I feel about Scream also, is like I suppose maybe I've met 1 or 2 people who don't like it, and I genuinely believe the people that don't like it are only saying that because like they want to be edgy. Like,
oh, they're Dave Matthews banding it then from Mayhem.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like
our network affiliates here, the Slashercast boys, they're huge fans of this franchise because this is their genre. This is they're
young kids.
They're kids compared to us. But I'm gonna say they're kids. This is the next gen's icon right here.
Yeah,
and they're behind us by a couple of years, so this is theirs.
The only issue that I take up with that, like the Ghostface moniker, the Ghostface look, I'll say is iconic, which is why the first movie works so well. But Ghostface,
the voice,
as
much as
voice,
the costume, I think, to me, as much as the costume, the voice does it.
Roger Jackson for life. But once you get into the sequels, it's so hard because it all hinges on the reveal. And if you're not behind the reveal, if the reveal seems illogical to you, the entire movie starts to be like, I guess it wasn't that good then. You know what I mean? Because you need that oomph at the end
and
to
just
make
crack the code on
work.
the entire rest of the franchise for me. So I was like, oh, this is just a 90 minutes till I get it was them. I'm like, oh, I'm not into this anymore.
Yeah, and that's why the first one is perfect, because
The rest of the series is who done it, 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 who done it. And this movie is, this is a good scary movie. By the way, who did it? Oh shit.
Yeah, and that is the formula that makes it work. And also, like, because you go through the whole movie expecting it to be one person. So the two person reveal is like oh fuck yeah,
What a twist. That was huge. That was huge in 96.
Yeah.
That there were two of them.
Yeah, but it felt organic, obviously because it was the first time. So all those reactions that everyone has to the end of that movie, they were genuine shock, and you're like, oh, and it hammers home why the first movie is so good, because you're in that mindset of one killer. You get two killers, you're like, bam. And then when you go to Scream 2, you're like, well, it's going to be two killers. And then it's fucking two killers. And then it's like, it's fucking Randy's mom, or not Randy's mom, Billy's mom from Roseanne. Okay.
Man, Jackie's a murderer?
Yeah. And it gets so hokey like that. And then they tried to retcon that with 3, like, only one killer now. Well, you thought there was going to be 2, but there's only 1. But it's like, it's too little too late. And I always equate this type of escalation. It's to me, it's the Paranormal Activity paradox, right? Where, like, the first Paranormal Activity, the good, like, holy fuck moment is when she gets pulled out of the bed. It's real. You're like, oh, they dragged her down the hall. Like, that was fucking scary. So then the second one, they're like, everyone liked her getting pulled out of the bed. How can we top that? Let's pull her away from the baby carriage or the baby crib, pull her down the hall, down the steps, and, you know. And then the third movie is like, let's pull someone down a hall up to the ceiling. And then the fourth one is like, let's pull them out of the house, flip them around. Like, I mean, it just keeps getting like,
let's pull the house.
Yeah, that's the ghost dimension. Let's open up a fucking hole in the wall. Like, it just gets so absurd to where it almost feels like a parody of itself. And with Scary Movie existing, being a parody of Scream, and nailing that tone so perfectly, that by the time we got Scream 2, 3, and then we waited a decade or whatever, when we got 4, it all feels like a parody of itself.
Yeah. Like John Cena says, like a broken needle, kid, you missing the point.
I love me some John Cena.
Yep. And anytime I can put some logic from the C Nation into the show, I will.
He's a bad, bad man.
Don't fuck with John Cena. He'll lay your ass down for the 3-second tan.
Bills made of spandex. I still keep my money tight. And also, they do some interesting things at the end of this movie, because David Arquette was originally supposed to die.
I thought he was the killer from the trailers. I used to see the trailers on pay-per-view. I thought he,
the flashlight.
I thought I was like, he's the killer. He's definitely the killer.
That motherfucker gonna be a killer. And we never got Dewey as a killer.
Nope, got him as a shitty wrestler.
Spoiler alert.
Got him as a shitty wrestler, but not a killer.
Yeah, but he was supposed to get iced, and then I don't know what changed their mind about that, but then they decided on, like, the last day of filming, like, I think David Arquette himself was like, Wes, just put me on the gurney and let me give a thumbs up, you know?
Like he's a goddamn stunt man or something.
And so he gives the thumbs up, and that kind of becomes its own thing throughout the franchise too. He gives the thumbs up in the first movie,
He's
the thumbs
bio
up in the
cop.
second movie.
Why am I still alive?
Yeah. And then it really makes the gut punch in part 5 hit when they are pulling out the gurney and the bag is closed.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert, yeah. I mean, that gets me every time. Like, I'll be like, ooh, okay, you know.
Didn't get me because I was straight up bullshitting it, because, like, a high schooler killed him.
He's got nerve damage and he's 60. Yeah.
I still think at 60 with nerve damage, I could kick the shit out of a high school girl.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see when
Give
we're
me
60
20 years
if
when
we're
I was
still
like,
talking.
yeah, I'm going to kick the shit out of any high schooler that steps up to me. Guaranteed.
I don't know.
Bring that shit on. I will fuck up a high school girl right in the face.
Because I'm doing Muay Thai right now, and I'm getting in really fucking good shape, and there are 15-year-olds that kick me in my fucking neck.
Yeah, because they're training for that shit. They're not just sitting at home watching cinemas.
That's true. But yeah, that's true.
That is true. High schoolers are fucking idiots. They're not going to take me down. They're not taking me down.
A wrestler.
No.
No. Not happening.
Never. Man, do we have anything else from Scream from you?
There's so much. That's the deal with this being such a short amount of coverage, because I really wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the
Go ahead.
The fact that it's like an interesting juxtaposition, right? Because around this time, especially within the next couple years after Columbine, anytime something bad would happen, the news, parents are on the news, just the media in general is blaming some form of media. It's music's fault, it's video games' fault, it's movies' fault. And this movie kind of takes its own, like, I don't want to call it like a political stand, but it takes its own stand in that battle and says, don't blame movies. Movies didn't make us this way. They just helped us get a little more creative. And like the whole movie, everything is steeped in cinema. They constantly are referring to cinema. They love cinema. And so it's obvious that cinema helped guide them to this plot of being, a slasher. Because they're even, once you get to 3, spoiler alert, you find out that Sidney's long-lost brother, Roman, helped Billy and Stu plan this. And he's a director. Like, there's all this crap.
Muddying the waters.
Yeah, it does muddy the waters, which is why the first one is lightning in a bottle. But I like the fact that we're coming out, and I think that's very just clever writing also, right? Is being like, it's not the fucking movie's fault. So, like, already taking a stand. Because even after this movie came out, there were 2 high schoolers who put masks on. They were inspired by this movie, and they went and they killed a girl they went to school with, but they got caught because they're fucking idiots.
I remember that.
Yeah, and there have been a couple documentaries about them and stuff, but they, their whole thing was like, Scream made us do it. And it's like, no, Scream did not make you do it. Like, you're fucking antisocial disorder. You're fucking emo pussy teenagers. You're responsible for your own actions. Just because some movie, like, made you go, I think we could probably do that. Like, you have to be fragile enough to want to do it. You know what I mean? You got to be the pussy. Like, I could listen to Cannibal Corpse. Doesn't mean I want to go, like, rape a nun.
Yeah, I do.
What the fuck ever.
I do not cum blood.
Yeah. As much as I'm influenced, too.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though.
At all.
Are Billy and Stu, they fucking?
Have
they
there
smooched?
Is some, which they really nail in Scary Movie.
Yeah. You sucked my dick. Wait.
That whole playing with the earlobe thing is a little on the fruity side, right? Like, I don't know, man. I think
Billy's a power bottom.
Probably. He's the boss for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely the butch to Stu's bitch.
Poor Stu. He's a misguided teenager who just follows his idiot friend.
I love his outtake, though, they got in the movie. They fucking hit me with a phone, dick!
Yeah, that's perfect ad-libbing.
That is amazing when I heard that. That it wasn't planned, that it was just a slip, and he's like, just went with it.
Caro syrup is slippery.
It's sticky.
Sticky and slippery, I suppose. When
know.
It's fresh, it's slippery. When it's starting to dry, it's sticky.
I don't know if it's ever slippery to me. I would never think of Caro syrup as slippery.
I do know there is a...
Why do you smell so breakfasty, Billy?
Why do I want to?
Why does when he cleans the knife off,
face?
does it not stick to his glove not stick together from that Caro syrup?
because it's pig's blood.
No, that's what the Kerasote they use for pig's blood.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So it should be sticking all over his fucking hands. Like he should be.
True.
Dad's shit right there.
Yep. Because if you ever step in Karo syrup, you're stepping in it for the rest of your life. You're like T-1000.
Mm-hmm. So, they fucking?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but
the wife is very much on the defending. Like they're not doing that. Like he's really kind of hanging on his shoulder there and like getting right up in his ear. Like they're really close. But I mean, I guess maybe murdering brings a couple together. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they bonded over said situation. But before we move on to that next segment, there is another thing, which is, of course, it happens with everything Wes Craven does.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, is it the power of this amazing garage door?
Oh yeah. Well, take something real strong to lift up those lungs. Holy moly.
Yeah, garage doors are not that fucking impressive still to this day.
No.
It's like
I just hold on to it and fucking make it slip the trap.
Yeah, it's like a goddamn steel trap, this thing in this movie.
It's a saw trap, dude.
Yeah, Jigsaw made this garage door opener.
It's like what's it say on the side of it, like 3.4 horsepower?
No, 314. Misprint.
Yeah, it's the Binford, as you like to say. Yeah, just rips her up there at breakneck speeds. Ha 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 ha.
The Binford 6100 garage door opener. 614 horsepower. Oh, ho, ho.
This movie got obliterated by the MPAA.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's an NC-17 cut of this movie. And if you do a little digging, you can see the extended scenes on YouTube. I know there's some people who sell some really nice, cleaned up bootlegs on like Etsy and stuff where they cut back in all this footage because it's all clean and you know, it's not like a shitty work print. But they took out a lot.
Really? Like what?
So
I've never heard of these, so I'm curious.
Yeah. This is a really weird thing too. At the end, when they're stabbing each other, and Stu is, you know, does the whole like I'm getting a little woozy thing here, and then like he's gonna take the knife from Billy. He's standing there, and there is an extended shot of the blood like running out of his chest wounds, and then dripping, like running down his hand, and dripping on the floor. And it's like you can hear the drips in the R-rated cut, but MPAA, they don't want any running blood. So all running blood, which looks like it can be flowing from an open wound, has been cut out of screen. But there's like an extra, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds of like, you can tell like that's why he's getting woozy, is because every time his fucking heart pumps, he's losing a tremendous amount of blood. The gutting of Steven at the beginning is extended, where his guts actually completely like roll out, like Romero style, roll out and fucking spill out on the concrete and like are steamy.
Neat. Steamy?
Yeah, you know, like, cause
yeah, I know.
Inside the body. But Tatum's head in the door, that, because they only show you like that half a second of that dummy getting jacked up, that's extended, like, I don't know, 7-8 seconds, where that dummy head gets fucking obliterated.
Interesting.
There's a bunch of gore gags, extended gore gags, especially at the beginning sequence when Casey is hanging from the tree and they do that real quick like speed ramp up to her corpse. In the NC-17, that camera creeps up on that.
Ooh,
and the fucking
which do you
guts
prefer?
are the creep.
Really?
I prefer that. Oh my, it's so unsettling. And it's even better because K&B built that. That's a dummy. That's not Drew Barrymore at all. And it looks just like her. And the fucking chest cavity is hollowed out and the guts are piled on the floor and strung down from her, and it's like this. It's just got this gentle rock to it because she's tied to that rope swing, and it's fucking terrifying. It is terrifying. And I think by speeding it up, they kind of give it that that snappy 90s thing,
Smash cut the title.
And if we could we dwell on that, because the mom's scream is so good, and she keeps screaming over that slow push in on that body, and it's very final. You know what I mean? It really fucking nails home, like, guess who's back, baby? Wes Craven is not fucking around. So I really like that. If you just do a quick YouTube search, you'll be able to find some of this stuff. I believe Kenny's throat slash is a little more like,
I love his vocals there. He sounds like Sylvester the cat when he gets his throat cut.
Yeah. They do that holds on for a while longer of him going down, I think. It's intense, man. I think those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head that like genuinely make an
Anything
impact.
about Stu and his head crushing from a television set?
I am not thinking that I saw anything, but that doesn't mean that once I, because I'm gonna buy that NC-17 cut. It's like a $14 Blu-ray someone has on Etsy. I'm gonna get that, but that's what's available on YouTube is just the stuff that was shown. There's a documentary on my Scream set, my Blu-ray set, and that's the stuff that's shown in that documentary where they say like, this is the R cut, this is the NC-17, this is the R cut, and they only show those like 3 or 4 examples. So those are what's on YouTube, but I'm sure if I did some more digging, I'd be able to find every frame that's been cut,
That's interesting. I never looked any deeper into the movie, which is strange for me, but I never have looked into any deeper stuff on it.
So you don't have any of the documentaries or anything? Do you have that Scream Blu-ray set that's 1, 2, and 3?
No, I do not. They're all individual Blu-rays.
If
I don't think anything's on them that I know of. I've never looked either, so I was like, that's even stranger that I've not looked at anything on the original.
When we get done with this, I'm going to send you a snap because there's a bonus disc in my Blu-ray set. It's 2. They're over feature-length documentaries, and one of them our homie Tommy Hudson made. Same guy who did the Elm Street and did
the book, Never Sleep Again.
Yeah, and did the Friday the 13th Crystal Lake Memories, I believe, or maybe he did His Name Was Jason. But yeah, he did this one documentary, and it's basically all about the first Scream. Then it's a good 2 hours.
Nice.
It's phenomenal. And then there's another documentary called Still Screaming that covers the franchise up to when they were making 4.
Damn. Yeah.
So, yeah, really, really good documentaries. So for anyone listening, if you need a Scream fix and you need some super deep cuts that we did not deliver, that's the place to go. But you got anything else you want to hit on before we move on?
I do not. I think we talked about everything I could think of.
Well, now that we're done talking about the things we like, the things we hate, the things some of us didn't know, what does that mean, Evil?
We circle back to hate. Time for them 1-star reviews from the Amazon.
Hated it.
I was going to say, is this going to be a perfect? No, but it's not, because you're already ready to read one. So, Maniac Cop 3, Reign Supreme.
That and the TCM from Netflix.
A perfect movie.
Apparently. Susie Vestal on December 26, 2023. 1 star. Not scary.
You're not even scary.
You're not even scary. Look at me, I'm a gross, scary, severed head.
What kind of janitor runs around in a Christmas sweater?
Janitor, yeah. It's exactly what she says.
Yes.
November 30th, 2021, Jasmina says 1 star. Love this movie.
I was expecting her to be a little Mina, if you will.
Amina Tamina.
You don't know how stars work. That's okay.
Buy the DVD on eBay. Cheaper. Own it that way. Not worth $4.
What? $4 for a DVD and you're pissing and moaning?
96. I don't know.
I don't get it. Because it's most likely one of those Dimension Collector's Series ones, so that it's probably got a fair amount of special features.
Mine doesn't, so not that I'm aware of anyway.
I'd have to look at mine. I feel like it does. Where we got that 1 through 3 DVD set.
Yeah, I never got that set, so you're just have Blu-rays, individual Blu-rays. When Scream 4 came out, we got individual Blu-rays of 1, 2, and 3.
Gotcha.
Karen, February 3rd, 2022. 1 star. I did not order this movie.
Yeah!
I do not like any kind of scary movies.
You might lock your door. I don't know what's going on. Could be code.
Maybe. Adrian, June 8th, 2021. 1 star. The movie sucked.
That's it.
Yep. Alyssa, on July 25th, 2020. 1 star. Not satisfied.
Like all of my past lovers.
Well, I'm satisfied. I'm erect. Why aren't you?
It's cold in here.
Judge Fear. December 26, 2019. 1 star. Don't believe the hype. Utter garbage.
Too damn high.
Unless you like bad actors and jump scares. Next.
Oh, you said jump scares like Onyx, and that makes me happy.
Bad actors and jump scares. Totally overrated. Next.
Oh, it's so good.
Call me Judge Fear. I don't believe the hype. It's utter garbage. I don't know.
We gotta get a hold of him. We need him.
Bowser videos. I'm sure our shit would jump tenfold if we get him on the show.
We need to just have a conversation with that fella.
His movie's amazing. You definitely need to pick that up. Like I said, there's explanation to why he says I don't know, and it's the most heartbreaking shit on the planet.
I'm buying that movie for sure.
Oh, it's becoming a Halloween staple for me. It just fits perfectly in like where like Ernest Scared Stupid. You're gonna throw this in there. It's R-rated as shit from language. I don't think there's any nudity of any sorts in it. No, I'm like definitely nothing. Maybe a breast, but I'm pretty sure not. It's charming.
Yeah, it's happening. That's for sure.
Okay, my last 1 star from Emily. April 8th, 2022. Emily says 1 star. I don't know if you're ready for this.
All right.
Not enough stabbing, less talky, more killy.
Less talky, more killy.
More killy. Emily wants less talky, more killy. Emily, talky, killy.
She was in a movie called Stab. She was stabbed. There's the correlation. I enjoy that one.
You want less talky, more killy?
Yes, less talky, more killy. That should be on the VHS like cover. You know how it's like fun, clever, hip, scary. Less talky, more killy.
What is on the cover of this? There is something on it.
I think it says like clever, hip, and scary. By like Rolling Stone or some shit. But I was going to bring something up before we move to the next segment, Evil.
Please do.
You know how people always make like fan posters and whatnot for like movies that don't movies that don't really exist.
Not like Schrodinger's cat.
Yes.
I've seen a poster for a Schrodinger's cat movie. And I was like, this is amazing.
That's
It
awesome.
doesn't exist, but it's cool.
It could exist. It does exist on the poster until you open the case and there's no movie in it. But I saw a Scream movie poster. This is an interesting take, and I'm going to see how you feel about it. You might have seen it, and we just haven't had this conversation yet. But I saw a poster for a movie called Screams. And it's basically someone said what they want, because I don't know if you've been following all the news with the new Scream movie. Like Jenna Ortega's out, the other girl, the lead girl,
Everybody's out apparently.
Yeah. There's a lot of trouble. The director left, and so they're not going forward with the plan that they originally had. And Nev Campbell said, if the studio does the right thing and wants to give me enough money, I'll come back. But this poster that I saw is called for a movie called Screams, and the concept is that it is super meta, like Wes Craven's New Nightmare, where it's a killer imitating Ghostface coming after the actual cast of the first Scream movie. And when I saw that, I went, I would watch that. I would absolutely watch that. I feel like by the time you're at the seventh movie, the sixth, seventh movie, in the last movie he's using a fucking Mossberg shotgun, and the whole, I hate Scream 6 for the record.
I haven't seen it yet.
So you didn't?
New to me.
You didn't watch it?
No, the wife has watched it. And I was like, I didn't. So this will be, when we cover it on the show, it'll be my first time viewing for that one, and my second time viewing 4 and 5.
Well, when you get to Scream 6, you are going to have the dad logic coming in swinging, and that is going to be a fucking great episode. I can't wait. But I feel like
Quick sidebar to that, I was looking for that poster. I couldn't find it, but I did see the one for the TV show.
Yeah, that's a whole nother ball of wax. I actually don't hate that TV show.
I was just going to ask, what'd you think about that version of The Mask? Because I kind of dig it.
It was a hard
TV show.
Hard pill to swallow for that first season. But you get used to it. It's funny because you get used to it, and then they did like a second or a third season, and they brought back the actual Ghostface mask.
Oh, really?
So like you go a long time with this weird kind of gimp mask thing that's going on, which is a cool mask, but it takes a while to warm up to. And then
it looks like Family Guy, like he was watching Mannequin. But I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and that's a series worth watching. Like one episode here and there. Don't super invest.
It's not a bingey.
Well, I mean you can, but if you just want to test the waters, don't give yourself I'm just gonna sit and watch this all fucking day and make my brain melt.
I don't even know. Is that even streaming anywhere?
Might be. But yeah, dude. Once you get to Scream 6, I kind of feel like you'll be definitely open to the idea of, can we just retcon? You know what I mean? It's like with Freddy, where do you go after he's 3D and he, blows up and we're doing all this weird shit, like Wes Craven being like, let's take it back to the roots and try and make it scary. I feel like you could do that with Scream, especially since Wes Craven's New Nightmare was kind of the testing the water to see if people would like Scream being meta. And then,
it seems like everything's turned against us. Because we used to be, make it make sense, make it make sense, make it make sense. Don't ignore the previous movie, make it make sense. Now I feel we're handicapped by that. To where they can't ignore it.
Yeah. But it's so...
It's almost to where I wish they would forget the previous movie and just have fun. Just do something fun.
Yeah. Because it gets...
and they don't.
It gets increasingly hard to follow that template, for one. But then, you got to make the old fans happy, so we got to bring back David Arquette and Courtney Cox and Sydney. You got to have Sydney. And it's I'm okay with, the changing of the guard. New people need to be in trouble, but,
I mean, Nightmare 3 did that perfectly. In introducing new people, keeping old people in, killing them, and, you're caring about the new ones as much.
Yeah, and I feel like Scream 5 did that. And then we could have just been done. But then we did Scream 6, and we're going to try and carry on with these people, whatever. But, yeah, I just, as much as I'm standing for that argument, I'm also like, but does Ghostface have a reason to do anything if it doesn't involve Maureen Prescott and Sidney? I mean, I'm sure there's other people who, have a tragic backstory and...
No, Woodsboro has one backstory, and it's everyone hates Sidney. Everyone hates Sidney Prescott, and they really hate Maureen Prescott. They just makes you want to kill somebody listening to Maureen flash her shit all over town. Like, nothing pisses off a town more than a floozy, apparently.
She was a whore. But I'm gonna stop rambling because it's time for the next segment, which is what, Evil?
Something that was actually kind of difficult until literally about an hour ago. It's time to play the prop game. To play the game. The game. That game. The only game. Not the music act from, what was that, like 2002 or whatever? Nope, not that game. Let's just play the game.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
It's all about the game and how you play it. If you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be standing in the horror section?
Oh, now that's in poor taste.
Is the Millennium motives are incidental?
The Millennium. I like that.
Is the Millennium motives are international?
International space stations? That's right. It's time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. But you're probably scratching your head, asking yourself, what is the game?
What's the game?
Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself, where you gotta pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. So since we're covering Scream, let's just say you can't take the buck knife, you can't take the Ghostface mask, and you probably shouldn't have the Doc Martens. I think that maybe...
Doc Martens.
That's probably it, and the robe. Just don't take the costume and the knife. That's a dick move. Pick something
What
weird.
are you doing with a cellular telephone? Something you'd only ask in 96.
Everybody's got one, Sheriff. Like, the rich people who have fucking 400 yards of yard.
Mm-hmm. A different time, to be sure.
Yeah. And then even in the early 2000s, when I got a cell phone, it literally just stayed plugged into my car lighter and still, like, strung into my glove box. It was, like, in my glove box in case I wrecked. I didn't use it until like 2000.
Cost too much money to use it.
Oh yeah, and then you get a ringtone and it costs you like $3. Like, because when people actually called you, you wanted to hear something cool.
$5.99.
Yeah, no shit. But you can play Snake on that bad boy. Yeah, let us know
Snake
on Discord. Let us know on the comments on this podcast. Patreon.
That's what Stu's doing, waiting to kill somebody. He's playing Snake on the cell phone.
Find us on Facebook, Discord, YouTube, at 3B Video. Anywhere you find us, let us know the prop that you want from this movie. And yeah, we'll go from there. Do you want to go first, since you said you got something?
I had nothing. I had nothing coming into this. I had nothing.
Wow.
But your behind the scenes knowledge of things shined a light, and I'm like, you know what? I want that Drew Barrymore.
Damn right. That's what I was gonna take. So hell yeah. Very good. Swoop in.
I did not know that was not really her
at all, dude.
So
Look
I'm
up.
Jesus Christ, I need that now.
Do Google images of it. Look at. You'll see them making it in the shop. It's amazing. And I think it was probably one of the first props ran in silicone. It's got like a silicone skin maybe. But it looks so fucking perfect. And you stole my prop, you son of a bitch.
Because I didn't know that was not really her.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Let me think.
Ooh, there's a shitty one on Etsy where her eyes are looking like Debo.
Gross. Well,
You know what? You can take it since you knew about it. And give me the scissors.
oh, Principal Hembry's scissors?
Yeah, give me Hembry's scissors where he's like, you desensitized little shits that you are.
Nice. Yeah, I could take that dummy, but as a backup, let me do this. I will take the stack of VHS tapes that she has rented that are sitting on her little island. One of them is Halloween, and I cannot tell what the other ones are. As many times as I've looked for high-resolution screenshots and tried to read what those other two titles are, I don't know. But I know one of them is Halloween. I can read that clear as day.
I'm going to send you a picture of that prop with Wes Craven. This is exactly how we would take the picture with it. You'll have to take a look at this. This is be the thumbnail for the show.
Yep. That would be us, 100%. Yeah, dude, there's lots of rad props in this movie, but nothing beats that. And I think it's safe to say that as far as like the movie goes, especially now with like streaming, right? You know, if something's gonna capture your attention for these younger kids, it's gotta be in that first 10 minutes, because kids will click out of it so quick because they're not invested. You know, they didn't go and spend money on this, and like it's not an event for them.
Mm-hmm.
But when we watched this movie for the first time, whether we were at our house, whether we were in a theater, wherever we were, that first 10, 15 minutes of that movie, you could feel like the electricity. You could feel like the excitement and you changing, like, holy crap. You become invested. And so I have to have a prop from that opening, because I feel like that opening is as good as anything. That opening is better than 90% of the horror movies that have come out in the past 20 years.
Take the deck chair that they throw through the window.
Yeah, buddy.
Or Steve's prop.
Yeah, you take Steve's guts for sure. I'll take the Tatum dummy, and you can take the Drew Barrymore dummy. Mushed head Tatum. She is wearing a skirt. I wonder if she's anatomically correct. What? Nothing.
I didn't say anything.
Some necromantic shit right there. It looks like Rose McGowan after the motorcycle accident.
There's a series, I don't know when we'll get to that, the necromantic double feature.
Please never. Never.
I think we should do it after Scream.
I'll be screaming. I be fly.
I still don't have part 2, so I have to get a hold of part 2. So Lawnmower Man double feature, we're looking to shoot maybe next.
I don't own part 2 of that either.
Good thing we got 5 more movies to go through
before we can figure out where we're going next. But on that note, Evil, I suppose we should probably get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
Subtleties too. You should look it up.